Hello friends, welcome to CSS tutorial. In this video, we will learn how to use letter spacing as well as word spacing using the CSS property. So this will also control the behavior of the text elements. So letter spacing property decides space between the letters. So here in the sentence itself, if you see the space, it contains 4 words S, P, A, C, E. So letter spacing will decide how much space will be there between the letters. In the typesetting industries, it is referred as tracking. Right, the printing typesetting industries, they will call it as tracking when they are printing the letters in the paper sheet. So increase letter spacing to have loose tracking. So letter spacing means here between the letter, if you increase the space, we will call that as loose tracking. And here if you see space compact, letter spacing 1 pixel. So the property what we are using here is letter spacing, and here we are using 1 pixel, minus 1 pixel. So that's for compact. When you decrease it, we call it as compact tracking. Right? So when we increase, we will call it as a loose tracking, and when we decrease it, we will call it as a compact tracking. So since here letter spacing we are decreasing it, we are calling it as space compact. I mean we are naming the class as space compact. You can name it the way you want, but here since the letter spacing is compact, we are giving a meaningful class name. And word spacing tells how much space should be added between two words. So letter spacing is for the letters. So these are all the letters, right? And what is the gap between the letters? That is decided by the letter spacing. Word spacing means here there is a gap, right, between the word. So that is decided by the word spacing CSS property. Here we have an example, word spacing of 1 pixel. Right? So we have tight word spacing as well as letter spacing, and if you want to lose spacing, then you can increase these two. Let's go to the demo and experiment it. So here we created a new file called letter spacing, and that is opened here in the browser. All right, letter spacing. Now here we have the sample HTML content, paragraph, and the class is normal spacing, and we are defining the CSS style for this normal spacing. Let us save this. And you can see the text that is displayed with the normal spacing. Here we are using Sig UI as the font, and the text is displayed in the given font. Now we will add one more style called space compact, and here in this style we specify letter spacing as -1 pixel, word spacing as 1 pixel. Word spacing means the gap between the two words. We will there is a gap right between these two fields. So that one is word spacing. Letter spacing means between each letter. And font family, we are still using CGUI. So here we will use one more paragraph with the new style space compact. So this is space compact, right? So that we can see the difference. The paragraph contents are same. We are just changing the word and letter spacing using the classes. So this is normal spacing class. So it goes with the default. The second one is space compact, and that is applied to the second paragraph. That means letter spacing and word spacing is applied. So haven't it saved it, now we will save and we will see the second paragraph here, and we can observe the difference between the two paragraphs. Let me go ahead and save it. So the second paragraph is a compacted one or tightly packed, and you can see how is the difference between these two paragraphs. Let us look at the font also same. All right, so the above one is default, and below one we customized it. If you see here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 line of 6 line is required to render the paragraph, but here we done that in just 5 lines because it's compact, right? We tightly packed letter and word spacing. Now we will add one more paragraph and we will call it as loose space loose. So this third paragraph is different from first one, because for the first paragraph normal spacing we applied the CGUI font. Here we haven't yet added the CSS style for this specific class, space loose class. So it defaults to the default font, and that's why we are seeing the difference. So at this moment it is not in comparable state. Now we will add the class for it with the same font. So CGUI font, and this time if you see, we increased the spacing between the letter. It is now 2 pixel, and the word spacing also increased. It is 3 pixel. So we are calling this as a space loose, and space loose is applied to the third paragraph. Now let us save it, and you can see how the space loose stuff is displayed. Now number of line is increased. Why? Because there is a gap between the letters and higher gap between the word as well. But the readability, if you see, so when we increase the font size and put a higher gap, it will be good for people with older ages. They can read the letters easily compared to the compact one. Now let's add one more paragraph with very loose style, and we will define this style. So the fourth paragraph is shown here. Here space very loose, and if you see, we are just increasing the letter and the word spacing, and so these are all the set of rule, and based on the rule we are naming our class very loose compact. So the user of this CSS class, they will decide to which paragraph they have to apply a compact one or loose one or very loose one, right? Now we increased the letter and spacing, I mean word spacing further compared to the previous one. Right here it is 2 x 3 pixel and now it is 4 x 5 pixels in terms of letter and word spacing. Now, having yet saved it, we will save the content. And you can see now this is high, very loosely packed content. Alright. So for me, the third one is good for easy reading. For younger age people, they can even read this one. Alright, that's all here in this video. Thank you for watching. Bye. Thank you for watching. Bye.